Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another quick video. On this video, I want to talk to you guys about what took me from a negative $30,000 net loss to my name to almost 7 figures in terms of net worth today in about 20 years. Now, most people would say, hey, that's nice to do. How did you do that? What did you do? Well, I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm going to give you a few things about what I did because these are really things that anybody can do, okay? This is not anything special. I didn't win the lottery, none of that. I didn't start a business that made me hundreds of thousands of dollars or $20,000 a month. None of that. I had a job, I had a family, and I did basic things. Money doesn't have to be as complicated as most people want to make it. It doesn't mean that you're going to suffer in terms of mental health. None of that. Just a few basic things that anybody can do with a plan and some discipline to actually get to where you want to go financially. Now, I'm not here to brag or to boast. What I'm here to do is say that if I could do it, then you can do it. And hopefully motivate you guys and hopefully inspire you and also encourage you to do it yourself. Take these things that I'm going to give you because these are the keys to things that actually was able to boost that net worth over the last 20 years. And I want to share them with you guys. So now the very first thing that I did was this, guys. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be using credit anymore. I'm only going to be using, I made a commitment to say I'm only going to be using credit on appreciating assets. That means things that are going up in value only. I'm not going to use credit for anything else. Matter of fact, to date, as I sit here and talk to you guys, I have not checked my credit in about 8 years since I refinanced my property. And before that, it was about 2 or 3 years. So in the last 10 or 11 years, I've only checked my credit one time. That's the only time I checked it. I don't check my credit once a month. And the reason I don't is because when I started getting serious about money, learning about money and changing my habits with money, the first thing I realized was that it's not my credit score. My credit score has nothing to do with how I am financially. My credit score has nothing to do with what I have in the bank or what I have invested. What matters most is not my credit score. What matters most is my behavior with money. My behavior matters more than whether I got a 600 credit score or 800 credit score or 550. It doesn't matter. Building my credit only helped me in the beginning when I was buying rental property or buying my own property to live in. And again, those are appreciating assets. So I'm not against credit at all, but I'm only for credit if I'm buying appreciating assets with the credit. And I haven't bought an appreciating asset in probably 15 years when I bought my last rental property. But the point is this, I stopped caring about credit. The only time I care about credit is if I'm going to use it to refinance a piece of property or if I'm using it to buy my own property, a primary residence. Other than that, I don't even use credit. I have no idea what my credit score is. I just don't care about it. Hey guys, if you're getting any value at all out of this video, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and also drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts about the video content. What is something that you've done that maybe is a little bit different than everybody else, but it's helped you build wealth? Now, the second thing I did, speaking of credit, is I started paying cash for all the cars that I wanted. I stopped financing cars. The last car I financed was probably about 2010 or 2011. It was a truck, a Tundra, right? I paid it off in a couple of years, or 1 or 2 years, and that was it. Done with it. Since then, I made a decision not buy cars and make payments on cars. Cars typically go down in value, so no car payments. That $300 or $400 car payment, I think the average car payment today on a used car is like over $500 in America. So that $500, I can make better use of that $500. I could be putting $500 extra on my rental properties, or I could put $500 extra invested in the stock market, index funds, mutual funds, ETFs, whatever. So there's better uses of that money than cars and automobiles. Now, what's that mean? It means I don't have the nicest, fanciest 2022, 2024 car. I don't have that, right? But I don't need that either. For me personally, I don't mind buying a good, solid, used car cash. Now, another thing I did to grow my wealth to 7 figures is I stopped using credit cards. I wasn't a big credit card user anyway, but about 2010, 2011, I said no more credit cards. I do not want to use a credit card. So guess what? cut up my credit cards, haven't used a credit card in about 11 years. Now, you're probably saying, well, did you grow all your wealth in that 11 years? Yeah, when I really started seeing my wealth quadruple and quadruple and quadruple was when I stopped doing some of the things that I'm telling you guys about. I don't use credit cards, haven't used them in a long time, and I know people have these things they do with credit cards to kind of get around the system, and as long as you pay it off that month and all that stuff, great. If that works for you, personal finance is personal. In my personal situation, I had no use for credit cards. I didn't want the temptation of having credit cards around me. I didn't want the temptation of going on vacation, using $1,000, $1,500 on a credit card and saying I'll pay it off next month, and then something else come up next month and I don't get to it. So I said, you know what? No more credit cards. Done. Now, another thing I did that's a little bit unusual nowadays is I used the envelope system, and I've been using it since the 1990s. It helps me stay disciplined in terms of my weekly and monthly spending. Now, what is the envelope system? Certain things, miscellaneous items, food, those types of things for the car maintenance, those type of things get put in an envelope to the side every single month. In other words, that money is there, and when I run out of that money, I don't use extra money. It's more of a discipline thing that I started back in college many years ago, and I kept it going all these years. It just keeps me in line in terms of spending my money. Now, another thing I do is I budget, and I've done about 335 straight budgets in my life since the 1990s. Why am I so disciplined with the budget? Because the budget is my guide. The budget is like my guardrails when I'm driving, right? Or it's like my lane. I can't really go out of the lane because I have it in a budget or on a budget. Can I splurge every now and then? Sure, you can always splurge, right? But the point is that you want to do something that makes you disciplined. And writing a budget, a unique monthly budget every single month, helps me that way. Speaking of that, another thing I've done over the last 20 years or so is I still write checks to pay my bills. Okay, you can call me a dinosaur if you want to, old school, whatever you want to call it, but this helps me. I commit to paying bills 24 times a year, period. You can't knock me off that. 24 times a year only. The 1st and the 15th of each month, every single year. Now, if I'm committed to all of my bills on the 1st and 15th, then that means I can't really have a bunch of bills coming out on the 23rd or a bunch of bills coming out on the 9th. I have to have the bills come out on the 1st and 15th. Now, the way I make sure that happens is I control when those bills get paid. I don't allow the gas bill or the electric company or the water company to tell me when I'm going to pay them. I tell them when I'm going to pay them. So I called up years ago the water company and said, I can't pay the bill on the 10th. Doesn't go along with what I do. I have to pay the bill on the 15th. And so I made the arrangement with the electric company that I can't pay a bill on the 23rd. That bill has to be due on the 1st. So I told them when I'm going to pay them. Now, some places agreed, some places didn't agree, but that's okay. If it's due on the 8th, then I'll pay it with my check on the 1st. If it's due on the 23rd, I'll pay it with the bills that I write on the 15th. What this does is it takes the control out of the service that wants me to automatically bill pay, and it puts me in charge of when I pay my bills. And the 3 bills that I do actually auto pay, same concept with them. I've arranged for them to be taken out to go along with what fits my budget. So I'm in control of when those things automatically get taken out of the account. Now again, call me a dinosaur, I'm okay with that. So finally, guys, one thing that I do is I make sure I give, tithe, volunteer my time. I give back to people in need, places that are doing things that I believe in and I trust. I give to help other people, and I serve my civic duties in a volunteer way. So whether that means sitting on a board, sitting on a commission, being in a leadership position in some form or fashion where I'm volunteering time, but I'm giving money, I'm giving energy, I'm giving time to other people, to other causes. That's a huge part of building wealth that a lot of people leave out. They don't talk about the giving. And as far as me on this channel, I do a lot of talk about giving and helping other people because that's what we're here for. That's a wealth building tool that many people miss. But in the last 20 years for me, it's been one of the most important things that I've done. So there you have it, guys. Those are some principles, some things that I've done over the last 20 years that have helped me build my wealth from negative $30,000 to almost 7 figures today. Now, if I did it, you can do it. I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't do anything sexy. I didn't do anything glamorous. I didn't get rich quick. I didn't do any of that. I just did some really basic things to get from one point to another point over the course of time. Patience, discipline, focus. You can do it too. Hey guys, if you got anything at all out of this video, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, let me know what you thought about the video, and also subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hey listen, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Take care of yourself. Always take care of other people. Until the next video. Peace.